There's a place in space. There's a guy who's great. He's Ralph the robot. He's Ralph the robot. He's Ralph the robot. The Ralph the Robot Show.
Hey Ralph, do you have that Velcro I asked for?
Oh yeah, I got it right here, Debbie.
Oh,
here you go.
Thank you, Ralph.
Yeah, what a coincidence you're using that here since we're in Velcro Village.
Silly, it's not Velcro Village, it's Elk Grove Village.
What are you talking about, Elk Grove Village? Everyone knows it's Velcro Village.
No, elk, like the animal.
Like the what?
Think about it, Ralph. There's elk everywhere.
Think about it. Hey, you're right. They're everywhere.
Yeah, I told
There's
you.
even one on you.
There's one on you! There's one on you!
Oh no, there's one on me.
They are everywhere.
Hey, why are they everywhere anyway? What is this
I
called?
don't know. It's because there's elk everywhere.
All right, so why do they call it Elk Grove Village?
You know, Ralph, I really don't know.
You don't? Well, who knows?
Sandy at the Farmhouse Museum.
Oh, okay.
She knows everything about the history of Elk Grove.
Yeah.
She teaches all kids from all the schools about
let's
the history.
go see her,
Yeah,
Sandy,
she'll have all
at
the answers.
At the museum.
Let
Okay.
me go put this cable away. I'll be right back.
All right, I'll meet you there.
Meet me there.
Hey, Moosey, I've got my own grove too. Buffalo Grove. I'm so funny.
Oh, bummer. There's no Moose Grove.
Whoa! Hold on a minute. I thought this was going to be the Farmhouse Museum. What, did I travel back in time? Did I set my teleporter to time traveler? Oh.
Hey, Ralph. How are you?
Hi. Hello. You must be Sandy, right?
Yes, exactly.
Hey, listen, Debbie sent me here. She'll be here any second. I came here because I gotta find out why Elk Grove is called Elk Grove.
Ralph, you always get ahead of me.
Hey, Debbie.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi. Good. How are you?
Good. He always just, gets excited, runs off, and leaves me behind.
So, Debbie, I was just asking Sandy. She hasn't answered yet. I just asked her the question of why Elk Grove is called Elk Grove.
I know, he's been asking me nonstop, and Sandy, I don't know.
What, did somebody just decide they like elk one day? I mean, what?
Well, and that's a very popular question that many people tend to ask when they come to Elk Grove. We get lots of kids here, and they always want to know why on earth did Elk Grove ever get its name, Elk Grove? But unfortunately, there's no for sure definite truth behind the naming. It's all based on local lore. So, as the legend goes, long before we arrived on the scene, the Native Americans were residing in the area, and according to legend, it was soldiers at Fort Dearborn that heard that Native Americans were hunting wapiti here in the area, and wapiti is the Shawnee word for elk. And the word grove refers to a large grouping of trees. Well, today in Elk Grove, where can you find a large grouping of trees?
I don't know. The woods? Bussy Woods, right?
Excellent. The Forest Preserve.
Yeah.
So again, nothing is based on fact, but it's thought that it was kind of a combination of both the Native Americans who were hunting these types of elk here, supposedly, and the contact with the soldiers that led them out to the area because the elk love to dwell in these trees to hide from the hunters.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So what happened to all the elk? Do we know? Do they just...
Yeah, are there any real elk in Elk Grove? I mean, I really don't understand, Sandy.
There are. They're not roaming wildly about, and they really aren't hunted. However, they're safely secured in a corner that's part of the forest preserve now. And the reason why part of the forest preserve is known today as Bussy Woods is because back in 1924,
long time ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
William Bussy had heard about the legends of there once being elk roaming wildly about in the area. Yeah. And so he decided to bring the live elk back to the area. But he had to go all the way to Wyoming to get them. He had the first herd shipped back from Wyoming. So the elk that you see here in Elk Grove today are kind of descendants of that first herd.
So they're originally from Wyoming.
Where, do we know where in Wyoming? No?
Actually, we're not sure.
Okay.
So what you're saying is all the elk that we see here originally came from Wyoming? Wow, that's crazy.
That's
exactly.
far.
It's kind of a funny bit of history, but for whatever reason, that's where he chose to bring the herd over from.
Okay.
And the elk are still there then, and people can go see them, right? Right, Ralph?
Sure.
Isn't that something that maybe you'd want to do?
That's way better than my original theory, which was that it was Velcro Village originally. That's what I thought we called it.
Velcro. Yeah, because people are wearing Velcro everywhere. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right. Well, I think...
Elk Grove. Okay, got it.
I think, Ralph, maybe we should head on out to the woods and maybe we can learn a little bit about the elk that are out there now and how they're cared for.
Okay, that sounds great. Now, who do we talk to for that? I mean, do we just go out there and...
We're going to go out there and hopefully somebody from the Forest Preserve will meet us and give us some information.
And then we'll just say, hello.
Yes, hello.
Help us.
Well, thanks, Sandy, so much
thanks
for
a lot,
helping
Sandy.
us out. I think you
This is
answered
great.
some of our questions.
Very good.
Before we go, though, why do I feel like I step back in time when I'm in here?
Well, because this room we kind of used to interpret as a one-room schoolhouse. Another thing that once dotted the landscape here in Elk Grove, but unfortunately there's no original one-room schoolhouses left.
Well, you were a great teacher here for the information I needed in this one room, so thanks a lot.
Excellent. Well, thanks for coming.
Okay.
There he goes again. He always leaves without me, and I always tell him it's not safe. I've got to go, Sandy. I've got to go find out where he is.
Okay, well,
Bye.
this elk herd.
Ralph, I can't believe you do this to me. Seriously, Ralph, this is not safe for you to be traveling around by yourself. Oh, I should know better by now. He doesn't listen. He just goes ahead. And I'm going to have a talk with you, little robot, about hitting my leg the whole time while we were talking with Sandy. You think I didn't notice that? I knew what you were doing, and now I'm probably going to have a big bruise. Oh, Ralph, just don't get into any trouble at the woods, please. Just wait.
Hey, Phil!
What, Marvin?
How do you catch a unique elk?
I don't know how.
Unique up on him!
There's something wrong with you, Marvin.
Ralph, why do you always do this? You can't just leave. Oh, I hope you're okay and not getting into trouble. Why is there snow on the ground? Wait,
Attention, Elk Grove residents. A freak and somewhat dirty snowstorm has fallen in the area near where the Forest Preserve keeps its elk. Residents are urged to use caution as the ground is wet and muddy, and because of the chill, it is suggested that robots wear black scarves as they look good with their color schemes. Thank you.
Here we are. Hi. Hello. Good morning. Hi, Ralph. I'm Brian.
Hey, I'm here to see the elk. Where are the elk?
They're behind us over here.
Oh!
Ralph! Oh, he always gets ahead of me and it's cold out.
Hey, I was in a hurry. What can I say?
Hi.
Hi there.
I'm sorry. He
That's
just
okay.
barged in, but
That's okay.
He was really excited to come out and see the elk.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. They're really interesting animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're big. Wow, look at that.
They look
Hello.
like they look like they're just standing there and like they're waiting for something.
That's right. They are waiting for something. They are hungry. This is the time of day
Yeah.
that the elk get fed.
Oh.
So they're waiting for their food. Some of my colleagues are going to be taking food in their
Oh.
truck.
Hey, what's your name? I'm sorry, I didn't ask you.
Forgive me, Ralph. My name is Brian.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, hey, thanks.
And I'm Debbi,
nice
Brian.
friend Grippy
It's
right
nice to
there.
meet
Hey,
you.
Debbie. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, so wow. Can I ask you, Brian? Where do the elk live? I mean, why are they homeless? It looks like they're just waiting out
Oh, well,
here.
if they're not homeless, these are wild animals. This is their home. This
Oh.
entire pasture of grasses and part of the forest, this is where they live. They really like it here.
Oh, wow. So I guess you're right, Debbie. It really isn't Velcro Village after all.
No, it's Elk Grove Village.
Elk Grove. Okay.
Are there more elk than what we see behind us?
Well,
I mean,
all of the elk are there. There are 14 of them
Okay.
right now.
Oh, wow.
The 6 of them are male elk. Those are the ones with the big antlers on their heads.
Okay.
And 6 of them are female elk.
Ah.
And that leaves 2. We had 2 calves born this year, and we're not sure whether they're boys or girls yet.
Oh, okay. So we'll know when they start growing antlers, huh?
Yeah, we will.
Or not. Yeah.
When do they usually start growing antlers?
Well, they start growing antlers later on in the year when the boys are about 6 months old in the summertime. They start growing their antlers. But all of the male deer's antlers will fall off sometime during the winter anyway.
Well, what do you do with the antlers after they fall off?
Well, what we do is we collect them from the pasture and remove them from there, because we don't want people to get the idea that they can somehow sneak in or break into the fence and get themselves a souvenir, because that would be dangerous for them.
Yeah, and you do. I see the fence, is around the whole entire area.
This is an amazing view.
Yeah. I see a sign up all around the fence that says, "Please do not feed the elk."
Yeah, how do they eat? Because, if it said, please don't feed the Ralph, I'd starve.
Well, that sign is there to protect the animals and the people. These animals have a very particular kind of diet. It's important for them to get the right food that's healthy for them. And usually the kind of food people want to feed animals that they find in a zoo like this is usually not healthy for them. What we're feeding the elk today out of our truck is they're going to be eating hay and also something called alfalfa and also some oats. Like the same thing you make oatmeal with is oats. That's what's healthy for them. We're also going to give them some minerals, like some salt they can lick and minerals they can lick. That'll keep them healthy through the wintertime. But Ralph, we don't feed them during the summertime.
No? Well, how do they eat?
Yeah.
Well, this pasture that they live in is full of all kinds of nutritious grasses and other plants that are healthy for them. So we let them graze naturally during the summertime.
So why do they need to be fed in the winter? I'm just kind of wondering.
Well, during the wintertime, it's the grasses that are here they're not growing very much. So we want to make sure that they're still very healthy animals. So we make sure they have enough food in the wintertime.
And how often do you feed them in the wintertime?
We feed them every single day.
Every day?
Yep,
Wow.
every
How many
day.
times a day?
Just once.
Uh-huh.
Once in the morning, and that's all the food that they need for the whole day.
Yeah, Debbie usually feeds me every day. Usually.
Yeah, if he's
You
good.
do.
If he's bad, then he gets half a day.
You don't eat hay, do you?
No.
Okay.
But sometimes when she feeds me, I go, hey, what is this? Hello.
I was wondering what happens if one of them gets sick or if they get injured or something.
Well, don't worry. We take good care of these animals. We have professional scientists, biologists, who make sure pay attention to the animals. Also, the people that are feeding the animals now, they're very knowledgeable about them, and they can tell if something is wrong with them. If one of them does get hurt or sick, we have veterinarians that take care of them that work for the Brookfield Zoo.
Oh!
So we take the animal
before?
there, or the veterinarian comes here to look at them and see if they need more help.
So how do the elk like all the airplanes flying over? That's pretty cool.
I don't think it bothers them at all.
Okay.
They're probably used to it by
Yeah,
now.
they're
being in
pretty
Elk
used
Grove
to it,
Village.
right?
Yeah. I wonder if they even look up ever. Look at
They
them.
probably do. They're very curious about their environment. It's important to know what's going on around them.
Wow, they are beautiful. So they're feeding them now, huh?
That's right. They're feeding them right now. That's why they're all very excited and gathering around the truck. They know that food is coming. It's their favorite time of day.
They are beautiful animals.
You know, could they ever be dangerous? Because you have people in there. I'm just curious. I don't know.
Sure, any kind of large animal, can be dangerous, but they don't intend to hurt anyone.
Sure.
They're large animals, so as they move around, if someone is in the wrong place or does something they shouldn't be doing that bothers the animal, they could get accidentally hurt. And the males have gigantic antlers on their heads. Their antlers are like 5-6 feet wide, 4 feet tall, and weigh 40 pounds. And there's a very strong animal, so as they move their head from side to side, they could accidentally hurt someone.
Wow.
Now we have a fence around here to protect the animals. It also protects the people.
Sure.
People that should not be around the animals.
And the robots.
And the
Yes.
robots, yes, of course.
Especially.
During certain times of the year, the male deer are very aggressive. They're interested in the girls, and they don't want anybody else around. So if someone's around they don't like, they could charge someone with those big antlers. That's what they're for.
Wow.
They use the antlers to fight with each other to make sure that one of them is the boss.
Oh my gosh.
So
So kind of like me and Debbie. That's
yes.
I guess so.
And we know who the boss
one of us is the boss.
So the people that are feeding them, obviously, they have to have special knowledge and about the elk. It's not just.
Yes, they do. They receive a lot of education and training specific to these animals and what they need, and a lot of practice. They go along with more experienced staff to learn what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, yeah. Now, do you ever have any more elk than what are here? I mean, have you ever had more than 14?
Yes, we have. The number fluctuates. I mean, it changes from time to time as more elk are born. Some of them might die. But we try to maintain about this number. This is about the right number of elk for this size of a pasture. Any more elk, and there wouldn't be enough food growing here in the summertime for them. But when we do have too many elk, what we do is we capture some of them and give them to other places that keep elk for people to learn about.
Wow.
Okay. And how long
pretty
have
cool.
the elk been here?
Oh, that's a good question. They've been here for quite a while, Ralph.
Really?
They've been here for 85 years.
Wow, they
Not these
look
individuals.
over
I
70.
was going to say they're 85-year-old elk.
Yeah, these elk are not 85 years old, but the first herd of elk was brought here from Montana.
Yes.
Montana.
Yes, we learned a little bit about that from Sandy over
we
at
did.
the
Sandy.
Lighthouse
Okay.
Museum.
You know
We
Sandy?
took a visit with her.
I have
and-
never met Sandy.
Yeah,
pretty
she's
cool.
a lovely lady, and she explained a little bit about the Bussey family and how they did bring them here.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. And
Hey
that's why-
Debbie,
Yes,
I want to
Phil.
learn how to feed the elk someday, okay? So can you put that on my to-do list?
You want to feed the elk? Well, I think you have to get some training, Ralph, before you're able to
put that
do
on my
that.
to-do list, would
And
you?
some four-wheel drive to go into the mud. and snow.
Probably, yeah.
Well, I just have one more question, I think. How long do the elk typically live?
Well, the elk can live for 35 or 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this
They
is
have a
like,
long life.
yeah, that's a long time.
Well, they're pretty large animals, and usually larger animals live longer.
Okay.
The male elk in there can be up to 700 pounds.
Oh.
Wow. Now, do they call male elks anything like?
Yes, they do, Ralph. The males are known as bulls, and the
Okay.
females are known as cows.
Bulls and cows.
And
Wow.
their
Okay.
young are known as calves,
Cows.
just like, cows.
Cows, which are bovine, and then
That's
right. Isn't that right? I think that's right.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah. So a bovine bull and a bovine cow versus an elk bull and an elk cow. I think I get it.
You
okay.
get it.
Hello.
He amazes me, the stuff he learns. Well, I want to thank you, Brian, for coming out and,
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
teaching us about.
It was great meeting you, Brian.
Yeah, anybody can come and visit these elk here, but just make sure that they pay attention to the signs and
Yes.
do not feed the elk.
Wow. Speaking of food, hey Debbie, all this eating in front of me is making me hungry. Got any food on you?
No, You know, Ralph, I don't, but it's funny you mention that. I'm getting hungry too, and when I think of food and I see elk, I can't help but think of those little chocolate coins that the mayor gives out.
You mean there's food with elk on it?
Yeah, he hands them out at the board meetings. I don't really know
Who
why.
does, the mayor?
You know, he's over at Village Hall.
At Village Hall?
Yeah.
I'm on my way. I'm going now.
Left his scarf behind. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
Ralph has a tendency just to run off all the time, so I better go look for him. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you.
Goodbye, Debbie.
Bye.
Bye, Ralph.
Hey, Phil,
Now what, Marvin?
how do you catch a tame elk?
I don't want to know.
Tame way!
Oh, chocolates. Where's the chocolates? Where's the mayor? Where's the chocolates? Oh, thank you, disembodied hand. Wow, your knuckles are a little hairier now. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a lot of stairs. Maybe I'll just teleport up there. Oh, I love teleporting. That was an exceptional amount of stairs. Now let's see. The disembodied hand said that the mayor's office was up here somewhere. Yeah. Hey, Chief.
Hey, Ralph. Isn't Debbie supposed to be with him? Yeah.
Oh, wow, it's kind of quiet in here. Mayor's office. Oh, chocolates. Mayor's office. Where's the mayor? Oh, there it is. Mayor's office.
Okay, Phil, one more.
Heaven help me.
What's the difference between a lawyer and a herd of elk?
What's the difference, Marvin?
The lawyer charges more! Hardy har har har!
If there are hunters watching, please shoot me.
Richie Daly, how many times I gotta tell you that the airport's gonna be the way I say, not the way you say?
Hello!
Oh, Richie, a more important person here to talk to me. Goodbye. Ralph!
Hey,
how
Mayor.
you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to see you.
Ralph! You too. Hey,
You can't just go barging in the mayor's office.
But Debbie, I wanted to get a chocolate coin.
I'm sorry, Mayor
Ralph
Johnson.
is welcome anytime here, Debbie. Don't worry. Ralph, it's always good to see you. I'm glad you came to see me today.
Oh, thanks, Mayor Johnson. Listen, I gotta ask you a question. I heard about these chocolate coins you give out. Is that true?
Well, I don't know if I'd call them coins, but we do give out what we call our chocolate logos, and we've done that for a number of years.
Okay. Well, can I have one?
Well,
Ralph?
as you can tell, it's okay, Dave. Under one condition, Ralph. You tell me the history of the chocolate logos.
I don't know anything about the chocolate logos. Can I have one?
Well, do you want me to teach you first?
All right.
And it just happens I've got one right here. Now, don't drool. Don't drool. Relax. Here it is here. Well, let me tell you the history of the chocolate logos. And I know a lot of people like to know that.
Okay.
And very few know it. It started years ago, actually before I was even mayor. The village would always have chocolate logos laying around for different events and so on like that. Wow. And when I became mayor, I remember what my mom taught me when I was young. And that was when you finish with somebody, either talking to them or meeting them, always leave on a positive note.
Yeah.
So I decided what's more positive than giving them something of chocolate, which is sweet and good tasting. Right,
That's
Debbie?
true. Very true.
So
Love
we had
chocolate.
these chocolate logos
Yeah.
that we used to get from Long Grove, Illinois, and the company was the Long Grove Confectionery.
Uh-huh.
And it used to have the old village seal, the old logo, on it.
And that was what? That had two elks
Two
on
elks
it?
standing
Okay.
next to each other, holding the Elk Grove Village sign.
Okay.
Oh.
And then a few years ago, we came up with a new village logo with the elk up on the little hill. And we also decided maybe we can get a company that's closer to Elk Grove, maybe in Elk Grove, to buy them from.
That's a good
So
idea.
we went out looking around, and sure enough, we found a company in Elk Grove that sells chocolate like this. The company that makes it is actually in New York, these people sell for them, and they designed us a new logo, and we put it on the new chocolate, and here we stand today with the Elk Grove chocolate logo that we love to give out, whether at board meetings or when I meet with groups like Cub Scout groups or Girl Scouts, or we have visitors like you today here in my office.
So even robots get chocolate?
Well, have you been a good boy today, Ralph?
Well, I don't know.
He's a good boy, Mayor.
What do you think, Debbie?
Besides just barging in here, you've been okay. He's okay. He's trying. For a robot.
Okay,
He's doing
so
his
doing
best.
well, Ralph?
Yes, he's doing
I
his
think so,
best.
Mayor. Can I have one now?
Well, wait a minute. We always have to discuss and go through it before we make a decision here.
Okay.
And Debbie and I are still talking and seeing. So what do you think, Debbie? Has it been good?
Yeah, I think he has. He's learned a lot today. We learned about how Elk Grove was named. We learned about the history of the elk over at Bussey Woods.
Okay.
We went out there and...
They're funny, by the way. They have good
yeah, and then we...
Did any of them bugle for you, Ralph?
Ooh. I didn't hear that time. But,
Do you know what the bugle is, Ralph?
No.
Elk, when they make their calling noise, they call it a bugle. And I cannot tell you how many times I've heard people say that they go walking by the elk cage, and all of a sudden they hear that noise come out. They don't know what it is, but that's the elk make a bugle noise when they make their calls and so on like that. So sometime you're out there, don't be afraid if you hear an elk bugling at you.
So it's like a car horn for elk, huh? Okay.
That's exactly right.
Yes, and not the snack bugles.
So now, Ralph, let me ask you a question. Does Debbie deserve a chocolate logo today?
I don't know. Debbie, have you bugled today?
Yes, I did. You just didn't hear me, Ralph.
Well, I tell you what I'm going to do, Ralph, because I know it's getting close to dinner time, and we want to make sure that you do all your chores today.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Debbie a few of these chocolate logos. One for today if you do your work and your chores and you behave, and one for a few more days after that. How's that sound?
I guess that sounds like a fair plan, Mayor. You're a fair guy. I like that.
Well, we try our best. So I'm going to give, out of my special basket that you may see on Channel 6 at board meetings sometime, I'm going to give Debbie a few of them. One for her, and then several for you, because you'll be good for quite a few days for me, right?
I believe I will be, yes.
Yes, only after dinner, though, Ralph.
Exactly.
I will hang on to them.
Now, Ralph, this is the
Thanks,
first
Mayor.
time you've been up in my new office, isn't it?
It's a nice office.
It's a little different than my last one, a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So it'll be easy for you to get in and out, I bet.
Yep. This is where the chief of my chief works.
That's right, Ralph. That's right.
Very good statement, Ralph. Yes, this is where we work, but more importantly, this is where we represent your community that we're so proud of.
Yeah, and more importantly, this is where you keep the chocolates.
Yes, but remember, they're under lock and key, Ralph. But if you ever need to see me again, and you continue to do the good things you do with Channel 6, and you do a great job, Ralph.
Thanks.
You're always welcome to come visit me again, and I'll make sure we'll give you some more chocolate.
Did you hear that?
And
Debbie?
not
I'm
every
doing a
day,
great
Ralph.
job.
Not every day. We need to, let the mayor do his work. And on that note, I think it's time that we leave. So
Hello.
Thank you. Debbie, thank you very much.
Thank you very
And
much,
Ralph,
Mayor Johnson.
It was good seeing you again,
Thanks, Mayor Johnson.
and have a good
seeing
day.
you
Come
too.
anytime you want to.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
I got some chocolates, Debbie.
I do too, and they're in my purse. Where are yours? Ah, that way, Ralph.
It's gonna be hard for me to get them.
Yeah. Remember, you gotta eat your dinner, Brussels sprouts tonight. Oh, not the door. See, that's why you gotta eat a little healthier, then maybe you'll fit through the door.
There's a place
Oh,
in
Ralph.
space. There's a guy who's great. He's Ralph the robot. He's Ralph the robot. He's Ralph the robot. The Ralph the Robot Show.